Hey everybody, welcome back to HitPoint. Baku-san JRPG, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, Derek. How are you doing today?
I am doing fantastic. Hey everybody, welcome back to HitPoint, a JRPG news show, a niche news show, anime news show, basically anything that Baku and I strike our fancy. Well, we're going to talk about it today, and we got a lot of stuff striking our fancy this week. Bit
Oh
of a
boy, it's loaded.
bit of a
It's a
yeah
lot.
boom in the news today, and well, all
Oh,
kinds of stuff. Well, we're gonna talk about it. Baku, what would you say? Well, actually, I'll ask you that in a moment. Yeah.
mhm.
Man, so
Make up your
anyways,
mind, sir.
yeah. I'll make up my mind. Okay, so yeah, we'll be talking about RPG news, niche news, and anime news.
Mhm.
We'll preview trailers and talk about rumors. And there are some things we can definitely talk about in the rumor mill this week. And
Yes.
we'll also answer questions and comments from super chats toward the end of the show, as well
Mhm.
as also just responding to comments from last week's episode. We do
Look
stream.
at you.
I
You
know.
remember to talk about Super
I
Chat.
know, I
Good
almost
for
never
you.
do. But we also stream every Sunday at every single Sunday ever, except for the ones we don't, on
Except for the ones
7 p.m. Central and 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Now, Baku, what would you say
Hi.
is today's top headline?
Are we entering a new golden age to JRPG? Goodness,
Oh man,
possibly.
it sounds like that might be a possibility. Some people are working their way toward that, and I'm kind of curious to see because there's some names behind that. But we're going to talk about that in a little bit. Uh,
We'll talk about it.
Man, so you want to talk about some comments that we got from last week's episode, though?
Regretfully, at least one of them. From previous podcasts, Chris Klein says +1 for the puns. Keep them coming.
All right, Baku, welcome to the Punder Dome. That's right. We're all puns all the time. That's who won the vote. You know what? We mentioned it. If you like puns, leave your puns down in the comments below. And if you don't, leave puns in the comments below. And therefore, it looks like everybody voted puns.
No one even came to my rescue. I have no allies. No one go like, oh yeah, no, forget the puns. Let's get up more of the news. God, everybody's just like, please, more puns.
Yep. All right. Well, I have a few of them queued up for a little later on. We also have another comment here from Mecha Otaku Gamer who says, "How about instead of going on a hiatus next time when things slow down, you guys do an episode about your top 10 RPGs or Western RPGs, or if you're all are into that."
Hmm.
Yeah, we could do something like that. Baku and I have been talking about what we could possibly do in the event of just another all of Japan goes on a hiatus for a week. The news cycle just completely shuts down. Oh yeah,
Hmm.
we've got some ideas in mind, and we'll flesh those out as we go. But yeah, that was only half of the reason for being away the week before last.
Hmm.
So this time or that time it wouldn't have worked out regardless. But next time that happens, we'll definitely keep the
Yeah.
windows open for something like that to happen.
That's right. Which, by the way, Mecha Otaku Gamer, if you're listening, love your name. We're like best buds already. Like those are three things that I absolutely love. Mecha Otaku culture and gaming. What? Excuse me. But also, hey, you know what? For the rest of you, hey, if you guys got great ideas on like a thing that Derek and I can just talk about, if the news happens to be a little slow, hey, throw them over at us. We'd love to do it.
For sure. All
Yeah.
right. And we did get a voicemail. So I'll go ahead and play that here.
Hey, Super Derek and Bakusan, this is Toolman Tim. I know you talked about this in the past. I'm just curious as your take on games going more and more digital. It feels like every year there's more and more digital-only releases and more of the subscription services. As you talked about, Derek, you pay and you don't ever actually own the games. You just get access to them as long as you're paying. Just wondering where you think that's going. Do you think we'll see a day where everything will be digital and there'll be no more physical copies of games, or do you think we'll never reach that point?
Hmm.
Ah,
That's a tough question.
it's
Derek, go ahead.
it's an easy question with a tough answer, and I think that the
Yeah.
tough answer is that it's inevitably, at least at this point, it is pointing toward the end of actual ownership of games eventually. I mean, based on like the current trajectory, the current trend is, like you said, everything's kind of going more towards subscription-based services, digital-only releases, and those digital-only releases are basically more like a license for you to play it until they choose to shut down the server that hosts it, and then who knows, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that the current trend is pointing toward the end of digital ownership, but I don't think it's quite as near and as looming as a lot of people might maybe sound like it is. I guess initially, even the last generation of Xbox was initially going to be like a digital only console, wasn't it?
Yeah, until people push back on it. But
Yeah, and
you know, like,
I think that it's going to be one of those things where people will continue to push back, especially those who don't have the option for
mhm,
playing online. Who,
yeah.
because I mean, as much as we love to think that we're all internet connected in this day and age, and how just you know information flows like a river, and you can just plug in a jack and you'll be on the internet and you can download things
Mhm,
as quickly as possible. Some people, and it is a shrinking amount of people, but some people just don't have much better than dial up for the time being, and that amount is slowly dwindling as Starlink slowly becomes available in more areas, but it's very slow process. And yeah, I think in the meantime, there's just places where it's just not viable to have everything have to be downloaded. And those are
mhm.
not places I would want to live, personally speaking.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
yeah.
Uh, yeah, no, as far as that's concerned, my feeling is that at some point we're all gonna look at something like Steam. I think Steam is sort of what the future looks like when it comes to just having a huge library of digital content. I've got games from Steam from back, who knows when. Right.
Hmm.
And so as long as, when it comes to the console, it's a little different, right? Because architectures and what have you, and how they decide to monetize it is kind of wonky. But eventually they're gonna have to face the reality of like, how can we keep a server running for a next generation without closing out the previous generation? I think they're having a rough time doing that right now.
Yeah.
Um, but I think they're really thinking ahead now and trying to find a way to smooth out that process because it's not just production cost, right? I mean, there's that, right? There's no
Hmm.
overhead for digital distribution. But also the transportation costs, as we've seen in the pandemic, has skyrocketed. I don't know
Hmm.
if you guys know, but like transportation costs like doubled during the pandemic.
Yeah. For
So anything that needs to be shipped, the time and the money, has just basically doubled. And I would
yeah.
know this because I've worked in import export. So it's so much so that my business basically went out. Like we're not doing this. But that was like near the beginning. That's neither here nor there. But just know that that's a huge consideration when it comes to getting the game from the factory to the game store or to whatever distribution center, and then
Hmm.
finally to your home. All of that, that's transportation costs, man, and it has to be tacked on to somewhere.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Well,
it
and
it's
here's hoping that, gosh, here's the thing. Like, I feel like if they do eventually go toward this digital only thing where they just want digital all the time, I feel like video game prices should be adjusted to reflect that, right?
yeah,
So like I'm good with paying more for a physical copy, but
mhm,
I want that to be in the form of paying less for digital copies. Like I feel like that's
yeah,
what that was like the big promise back in the day
mhm,
when people were trying to push for digital copies of games. Oh, you could download the game. And then,
mhm,
it doesn't matter if your disc gets scratched. And look at Steam. Steam is always on sale. Like everything on
mhm,
Steam is always on sale. You can get all the
yeah,
games for $5, and it's that was the promise of,
mhm,
like the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360, I
yeah,
remember was look at the possibilities. I mean, they don't have to ship anything to you. They don't have to manufacture anything. It's just
mhm,
so much less overhead for them that, it's and that cost savings is going to be passed on to the consumer. Still waiting
yeah.
for that to trickle down.
Yep. Nope. That does not happen.
Any minute now.
Take it from me. Cost would be passed to consumers in a heartbeat. Savings, though, not so much. Yeah, savings only
Yeah.
pass to you if the competitors are pushing that downward. But that's why I think Steam is sort of like the future, because Steam does hold
Yeah.
that promise, right?
Yeah. They do.
There's no console generation, right?
Mhm.
Decades of games are in there, and they are on sale all the time. You can find
Exactly.
any game. Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess what this is a roundabout way of saying that, if and when games do become digital only, um,
Hmm.
I'm probably going to give up on buying consoles and just play on PC. I mean,
Mm,
honestly, legitimately, what's the difference anymore?
exactly. Exactly. I'm tech savvy. I don't need the console. Like, I have my feelings of why consoles still exist, and I
Hmm.
own consoles and gaming PC. I game, in any ways I can. But when it comes down to it, if I can't get physical copies anymore, like Derek said, what's the difference,
Yeah. I mean,
right?
if they're going to be anti-consumer, I'm going to be anti-console. I mean,
Yeah,
that's the response. Like,
yeah. Also, yes, as you can see, I love physical copies. If you guys can't see in the back, it's all physical copy games.
yeah.
And also not sponsored by Steam. They
Yeah.
did not pay me to say all this.
Though Steam, we are available. We do have open sponsor spots. Just saying.
That is true.
Now, if you have a voicemail that you would like to leave for us to discuss in the next episode of the almost said JRPG Weekly Update, in the next episode of HitPoint, make sure to leave your voicemail at 785-337-3805 or email us at hitpoint@superderekRPGs.com. You can just send us your voice file there so you can avoid the international, phone fees and all that.
Yes,
And
sir.
yeah, otherwise, yeah, we also will respond to super chats at the end of the episode. If you have any burning questions that can't wait till next week, that's one way that we can give those a good talking about. Now,
Yep.
Baku, what's going on here with this IB remake, eh?
Okay, so just a really quick update, right? So we talked about a game called IB Remake, and we covered it back in like April, if you guys didn't watch that. But just to recap, it is a 2D adventure horror game. It was originally released in 2012. The game got a huge following, and now it's back on Steam with a remake, right? Complete new arts, new music, what have you. But strangely, it released without English tech support. There's no voice acting, so that's not a thing, right? But it
Hmm.
only came in Japanese for some odd reason on launch. But now, like a month or so later, now it finally has English support. So hey, if you want to give that game a try, if that was kind of on your radar, but you're like, well, I don't read Japanese, why would I? Why would I get it now? Well, the English is out now, so if you're fans of games like Corpse Party, The Witcher's Hells, Mad Father, you're not going to want to miss this one, because this is the game that inspired like a lot of these games. Not Corpse Party, but some of these other games that had since come out. These 2D sort of horror adventure game from Japan. This is kind of like the thing that got it started. So definitely check that out if that's like your cup of tea.
This is definitely going to be one of those games I'm going to be eyeballing when we come around time to October's Spooptober, and
Oh yeah,
tackling some of those horror
Spooktober.
games. Hmm.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Oh,
this
I've
is.
got a lot of games lined up for those days.
I
I've
fe-
been researching.
I've
Yep.
been I've been looking for more like RPG inspired horror games to keep in mind
Mm.
for around that time. Because I mean, surprisingly, there aren't as many as you might think. Like, sure, a lot of RPGs have like
Yeah.
haunted house areas, or like,
Mhm.
you fight ghosts in almost all of them, or vampires or something. But it's never like,
Mhm.
the horror theme is always really really light, and I always just yeah, I want to check out more of them. So
You know why that is, I think, Derek?
why is that?
RPG, how we think of RPG anyways. I don't
Hmm.
want to get into nuance of what is an RPG, but what we think of an RPG anyways is, gear up, fight monster, fight boss, move on, level up, right?
Yeah,
Uh, well, horror tends to be you can't fight back.
I know.
So they're kind
Yeah.
of like contradictory to each other, right?
There is
You know.
there's one very big change, or one very big differentiating factor, and this is one of the
Mhm,
things that allows me to watch certain horror movies and not others. I
mhm.
don't like watching ghost movies because of that, right? However, zombie flicks are a completely different story. You can definitely fight back against zombies. So they need
Yes.
a zombie
Yes.
fighting RPG, and
Mhm.
I would be so
Oh
down.
my god.
Dude, this is actually a lot of people don't know this, but I actually went to
Mhm.
school, to college for video game design, and this was like my pet project. I wanted to make a video game, an RPG, an action RPG where you would fight against zombies as you like go through different areas of like a high school, and
Mhm.
like the big areas like gymnasiums and stuff would be like where you'd encounter boss fights and stuff, and it's like,
Mhm.
oh, that'd be so cool. Anyways,
You know, there's an alternative universe out there, guys, where I would be sitting here talking to a different co-host, and we'd be talking about a game that Derek makes. You know,
yeah, and it'd be
there's
terrible. Be one of those
some
fake
alternative universe.
JRPGs made by Americans trying to.
Look, we don't discriminate. If
I
it's a
know.
good game, it's a good game. But
I'm just
also,
making fun of my old opinions. But somebody in the comments asked again, what's the name of this game? It's IB, which is IB.
Ib, yeah,
Yeah,
Ib,
IB.
yeah, it's just
As
two
in,
letters.
I'd be pretty excited that it's coming out in English now.
But
Hey,
oh my
you asked for puns,
god.
and now you got puns. All puns all the time, Baku.
Mm, painful.
All right. So next up, we got The Use of Life. And this is
Yes.
from Playism. I think I said that right. And
Yes.
Darenko Games. This is a game. It's like a game book style RPG where the JRPG combat mechanics and it has multiple endings, and there's choices in how much and how the character can use their life. Yeah, it's like important to how the game plays out, I guess. So
Yeah.
it's currently entered into Steam Early Access, and we have a trailer of it that we can take a quick gander at if you want to, huh?
Let's go.
All right, The Use of Life.
Use of life. Music's nice.
Mm-hmm. It just occurred to me. I don't know if. Oh. Just occurred to me that nobody could hear the music until just now. Got it fixed. Hey, that looks pretty cool. Pretty hand-drawn. All right.
Early
Use of
access,
Life.
May 21st.
This is like a samurai rabbit. Kind of reminds me of Usagi Yojimbo, eh?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, that game looks really interesting. So again, I think the concept is sort of like a storybook, choose your own adventure kind of deal. So hey, if those are kind of things that you're into, choose your own adventure book game and JRPG battle mechanics, that might be a thing for you. So check that out.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. All right. Well, that's pretty cool. Sorry about the audio issues, guys.
You're perfectly fine, right? Yeah. All right, let's talk about that next thing. The next one that we've got that on the upcoming release is called Touken Ranbu Warriors. Touken Ranbu is an ultimate mobile game from Nitro Plus and DMM Games that launched in Japan back in 2015. So it was a mobile game at first. It was super popular among ultimate gamers. It has 3 anime adaptations.
I'm sorry,
So
you keep
not
saying that
inclusive
word.
of
Ultimate. What is ultimate?
Ultimate?
Yeah.
So ultimate games, ultimate just basically means like I don't know, like a young maiden of sorts. So maiden games. So lots of pretty boys, lots and lots of pretty boys. Think your
Okay.
harem anime, but like
reversed.
not that. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah, I just don't like calling it reverse harem. It is definitely harem.
I mean, it's still
just
definitely
that,
a harem.
you
Yeah.
know, yeah. But yeah, just think that. Yeah, in mobile game form with lots of hot boys.
I got you.
We
Okay.
look, we're catering to a wide variety of audience, right?
Hey,
You
yeah.
guys need to calm down. So if you've seen waifu blades, how about husbando blades? Because this is what this game is about. So check this out. DMM collaborated with Koei Tepco to bring this new title called Touken Ranbu Warriors, where players will be able to play as different personified famous katanas in the history of, swords. So it's literally a bunch of swords personified.
Oh, that's
They're
cool.
husbando blades.
Uh-huh.
And you get to fight in Dynasty Warrior style battles because, of course, Koei Tecmo, right?
Sure. Yeah.
So can we take a look at the trailer really quick?
You bet. Let's take a look at this.
Do it.
I hope that I get to see Muramasa.
No, Muramasa is definitely there. And Masamune.
Oh, and Masamune?
Definitely.
西暦2205年、歴史の改変を目論む歴史修正主義者によって過去への攻撃が始まった。
Yeah, I wonder if Excalibur is going to be in here.
時の政府
He'll
は
be
そ
like
れ
a
を
British
阻止す
guy.
るため、サニワなるものを歴史の守りとした。
And the pretty boys appears.
Oh yeah, they're very pretty.
Many are pretty gentlemen.
Who's the guy with the eye patch? That's what I want to know.
I have no idea. I have no idea. Do not look at me. Sounds like I need to do some research, am I right?
Yeah. I'm like, holy cow, how many awesome historical fiction blades are there out there?
Yeah,
I need to
it's
play
not
this.
just katana. Obviously, you see some like folks in like more Western clothing, so they have other things in there. I think.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be surprised if we see like Excalibur in there somewhere.
Okay, so yeah, it's a Muso kind of style combat, fighting hordes of enemies. I can dig that. And I guess they're all using their own personified blades, right? I mean, that's hypothetically.
It looks really good, I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, I don't normally play Otome games. But I mean, hey.
Yeah.
Muramasa looking pretty darn slick there. Oh, the two blades method, huh?
I wouldn't be surprised if that's Masamune. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, but I wouldn't be surprised.
It should have been Chrono wielding, or Frog wielding the Masamune. 100%. Okay, that's pretty rad.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, it's Koei Tecmo. I mean, it's they do have certain quality. So yeah, so this is definitely not like a no name indies kind of thing. Like in Japan, this thing is a pretty big deal, but maybe in the West we haven't really heard about it. But hey, you're hearing about it here first. So this game is going to be coming out in May 24th, so next week, in Nintendo Switch and also the PC. So if you are a fan of Hot Boys and also the Dynasty Warrior style battles, yeah, check that out. That's your niche right there. That's what you want. That's
so
what
this
you've been
is
waiting
coming
for.
out next week here in the West.
Yes, international. Yes.
Huh. I kind of, for whatever reason, it struck me as one of those things that we would never see here in the West. But I mean,
no,
that's cool.
That's why there was English subtitles in the official. Yeah, see, if it's Japan only, you are not going to see English subtitle. Also, for anyone who's watching right now, unless stated otherwise, all the things that we talk about are available internationally. So, or at least in the West. So, just letting you know. All right. The next one we got is something called TOKOYO The Tower of Perpetuity. Now, this one is an indies game. It's again from Playism. They announced a side-scrolling roguelike that's going to exit early access. Again, with the
Exiting early access. That's not how this works. So should somebody reach out, see if
you
they're
never
okay?
leave. The game is launching in June 2nd on the Switch and the PC. Again, with those two platforms. Players can choose from 5 playable characters to climb this mysterious tower that transforms its structures every 24 hours. And I mean that as in every 24 hours of real
IRL?
time.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So it's the roguelike tower that changes. Like you go to sleep, you wake up the next day, it's changed on server time.
Huh. Well,
It's kind of cool.
I
So
wonder,
let's
does
take
it
a look.
happen while you're playing the game as well?
That's a good question. I don't know.
I don't know. Okay, yeah, let's check it
Let's
out.
take a look.
Maybe the
Yeah.
trailer will tell us.
Maybe.
Interesting. Interesting look.
Yeah. Yeah, so I've been told that this game is actually extremely fun, despite what you might be thinking on the looks of it.
Yeah, I was
It's
trying to find
won, like many indies awards, in Japan. So
Yeah.
it's probably going to be one of those indie darling, I think, for like these kind of like platformer games.
I got you. Yeah, I was looking for a tactful way to say I don't care for the square art sprites. Almost looks a bit like old school like Duke Nukem 2, you know, from the side-scrolling perspective. It's not my aesthetic, but I mean, I don't think it's necessarily aiming to please people like me. Like this looks like a bit of a bullet hell combined.
Yeah, I don't know what kind of aesthetics they were going for, to be honest.
I mean,
Maybe
the
like
on-screen
Super
character,
Nintendo?
the on-screen character art looks really awesome. This looks to me
Yeah.
more like early PC than
Early PC.
yeah, rather than Super Nintendo or anything like that.
It's quite nice. Again, this is definitely what is it called? This is definitely one of those like indie darlings. So
Yeah.
I know some of you guys really just love the indie games. Love supporting smaller time like developers. So hey, if that's your thing and platformer is sort of like the bread and butter of like indie games, so you already know that that's like a thing that's coming. So yeah, definitely check that out.
Yeah, really awesome to see that more games are coming out of early access. You know, it's
Yeah,
just,
wow, imagine that, right? Imagine that.
yeah, crazy. Well,
Yeah.
I think it's about time that we start talking about some news, some new games that were announced, eh?
Some new games,
Or
yeah.
or maybe not just new games, but some updates to games that have already been announced as well as it applies to this game. We talked about a couple weeks ago One Piece Odyssey, which looks like it just came out of nowhere and looked way better than I thought it had any business looking. Well, Bandai Namco has updated the official website with new screenshots of the battle system, and it is confirmed
Yes.
that the game will in fact be a turn-based RPG.
Rejoice, people who like hates action RPGs and just can't accept that there are action JRPGs. Well, this is turn-based. Listen, I play both. I have no issue with action or otherwise. I love all JRPGs, but some of you out there just really don't like action RPGs.
I'll tell you what, I love both action RPGs and turn-based RPGs, as you know. However, dude, I gotta cheer on the turn-based RPGs when I hear
Yeah.
that they're being made, because it just seems like they're so far in between. Like they're so much more niche. Because let's face it, I mean, turn-based as a system is not sexy. It's not like, oh, check out this turn-based combat, and people are like, oh my god, that looks incredible, you know. But if you show them something flashy with people teleporting all over the place and you can't even see what's happening, they're like, hey, that looks like
Really
something
cool.
interesting. Yeah, like that. Like it's catchy, you know. It's that sexy battle system. So when people
Yeah.
do commit to making a cool turn-based RPG, I have to get a little excited.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I hate to keep going back to, but look, P5 is proven to us that turn-based can look sexy as all heck.
Oh yeah.
No one has ever seen P5 and be like, oh, that's disgusting. Oh, jeez, that is no. Everyone is like, wow, that is so aesthetic. Like, wow, how are they doing all these things? There are videos upon videos that have sort of dissected
Mhm.
frame by frame what they do in these
Yeah.
animations.
They
What makes them
never
great?
saw it coming.
They I hate you. I know he didn't write this one in to the script because I didn't plan on talking about P5. So that. Anyways, can we switch on over to my screen so we can take a look at some of the pictures?
You betcha.
Yeah, so they have updated the systems. So let me go over it because it's a Japanese site, right? So let's really quick. Here's the Straw Hat Cruise Adventure. There will be 2 modes: Adventure and Battle mode. Adventure mode, of course, is just really just running around the field and doing all kinds of stuff. So here's some screenshot for the Adventure mode. But that's not what you're here for. You're here for the Battle mode. And how we know that it's turn-based is because of screenshot like these that basically tells you Battle Turn 1. It says so, and there's some dialogues, and you can pick. There seems to be like a rock paper scissors kind of mechanic over here. Actually, no, it doesn't enlarge, but yeah, there's like a rock paper scissors kind of mechanic. Yeah, here's battle turn 1 right here, and it tells you like what the move can do and what have you. So pretty cool stuff. And there, it looks like it's going to be 4 party members at any given time.
Pretty standard, yeah.
Yeah, pretty standard.
I appreciate
and then here's
that.
some like actual battle animation with the fist flying. It looks really good for just a screenshot. There are a couple other things. It looks like there's going to be a friendship art, Kitsuna arts. So that's like
Oh yeah, like a combo
art,
attack.
Yeah, so maybe something that's like a Chrono Trigger. Maybe, I don't know.
Maybe so. Dual and triple techs.
Triple tech, yeah.
Or they Suikoden also had them too, right? What were they called? The I can't remember.
Don't remember.
But yeah, the combos. Those are always super cool.
Yeah, and then there's the dynamic scene. So I'm not sure what dynamic scene means, but it's something that will come up. So I'm guessing dynamic scene means like when you hit any certain skills, like there are some scenes that plays out, I guess. But yeah. So let's see. There are certain chances that dynamic scene will play out during the so during the combats.
Okay.
I don't know.
Like you can do certain things to trigger certain events, I guess.
Yeah, it's like there's a certain chance that dynamic scene will play out, and then you'll get certain kind of like bonuses. It doesn't tell me a whole lot, but the little tidbits that we're getting. Look, but the bottom line is turn-based, so we can put that guess to rest. Anyone who wants a turn-based game, rejoice. I'm super stoked for it because, I played the Fairy Tail game. It was turn-based. I liked it, but I have a lot of misgivings about it as a JRPG. Now, as a Fairy Tail game, it was incredible. Any fans should try it. But as an RPG, it's just lacking.
Yeah.
I'm really hoping that this is going to be like a great JRPG, even if you know nothing about One Piece. That's what I'm really hoping.
That would be my hope as well, since I know nothing about One Piece. And I know
something,
and I really kind of want to play it. I've seen like the first few episodes.
It looks really good. It looks really good, guys.
It looks. I mean, I remember people were talking about last time we talked about this game. It looks like it started development a couple years ago, so you won't have to catch up to all over 1,000 episodes of One Piece to get caught up to where this kind of takes place, as I understand it. But it would still take a while. That's a big commitment, but hopefully there will be something in game that can give me the, a quick and dirty, like, here's where we are and here's how we got here kind of deal. Give me the Cliff's Notes versions.
Absolutely. All right. Where are we now? Yes. That's where we are. Okay. So next up, we've got ourselves a PC port that's coming. And I am gonna mispronounce this. It's either the Caligula Effect or the
the Caligula Effect.
Caligula. That's what I said. Like that's the other pronunciation that I was thinking about. The Caligula. Okay, so the Caligula Effect 2 is coming out on PC. So Historia Inc. announced that the Caligula Effect 2 is coming to PC on what is it, June 23rd. So
Nice.
sometime next month. Now, this is for those who don't know what this game series is. This is a turn-based RPG game.
Mhm.
Turn-based. Wow, imagine that.
Imagine.
With story. Oh, sorry, you were saying?
No, I was saying imagine.
Yeah, imagine that. Sorry, with turn-based RPG, with story written by Tadashi Satomi, who had worked on the first 3 Persona games. So Persona 1, Persona 2, whatever, and Persona 2, whatever else. I can't remember. Was it like Eternal Sin or something like that?
So there was Persona 1, and then
Mhm.
Persona 2, Innocent Sin, and Persona
Innocent
3,
Sin.
Eternal Punishment. So
Okay,
so this
I mixed the 2.
yeah. So this does not include Persona 3. So
No,
you're talking about those 3. Okay.
those are the 3. Yes.
Which were
So
very far removed from the Persona 3, 4, and 5 that we're familiar
yes,
with today. I got videos talking about
correct.
them if you're interested in checking them out.
Yeah,
Uh,
absolutely.
but by the way,
Segways. Hey, hey.
I must say, Persona 2, Innocent Sin, which we only got on PSP here in the West,
Mhm.
is some of the best like character development between like a single party that I had ever experienced,
Mhm.
and I highly recommend. So if if some of the people behind that are involved in this, I'm definitely going to be curious about it, and I need to play Caligula Effect at some point. And I
Yeah.
guess now that the second one is coming to PC in about a month,
Hmm.
that might not be a bad time to check it out.
So, yeah. So, yeah, hey, listen, if the Atlas, super detailed Atlas survey is anything to go off of, I think they're really thinking about bringing some new titles and old titles to, the Steam platform
Mhm.
and other platforms. So, we'll see. I mean, look, listen, Atlas, I know you're not listening right now, but if you are listening, Sega, Atlas, listen, there's a lot of us here in the West with a PC that would love to play your games if you would just localize them. You don't need to do any voice acting even. Just localize it, please. And then we'll give you money. That's how that works. You localize, you put it on Steam, we give you money.
Yeah, that's how it works.
That's how it works. Okay. Anyways, so back to what I was saying. Yes, so Tadashi Satomi, who worked on the first 3 Persona games, those 3 that Derek had listed out, and also music written by Tsukasa Masuko, which also worked on many Mega Man Tensei titles, including Devil Summoner and Soul Hackers, the original ones. So got some SMT pedigree right here.
For
Okay.
sure.
Now it's coming out in June 23rd on PC through Steam and Epic Game stores. This game is immediately available on PS4 and the Switch. You want to take a look at the PC trailer?
You bet. I'll pull that up right now. I mean, the music is pretty rad.
Oh, I don't question it. The music is just phenomenal.
あなたを救うのはこの私リグレットそして私が作ったやり直しの世界リドゥ
This reminds me a little bit of not Angel Angel Beat.
Oh, yeah.
This
God,
reminds me a little bit of Angel Beat.
that was such a cool show.
It was.
It wrecked me at the end, though. Just hit me like a wrecking ball. But yeah,
Yeah, Angel Beat's a tearjerker for anyone who's never seen it. It hurts.
oh, it hurts good though.
Yeah.
Now, I think you played Caligula Effect when it first came out, the original, right?
I've not played either.
No? Okay.
No. I have the games. I just never got to play them because of all the other games.
I mean, sometimes it's tough.
So you can see the kind of like the persona kind of like influence
Similarities
here, right? Like
Yeah.
each of these characters has like trauma and psychological problems that you need to like get in and try to resolve.
Well, here's the thing. That
Mhm.
that didn't really enter the story of Persona, really not into the forefront until Persona 3.
Yeah.
Persona 2 had it a bit more to an extent.
Mhm.
Persona 1 didn't have it at all. But yeah, there is definitely
Mhm.
some sort of like trauma though, then like yeah, I guess your point definitely stands. But I feel like they're taking it to the next level in order to try to
Mhm.
match kind of what they did in Persona 3, 4, and 5, maybe.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And that's what the writer wrote about when he was speaking on what kind of scenario he wanted to write about for this game series. He wanted to delve into sort of like the more modern issues that today's teenagers may face, and et cetera, et cetera. So, um, on the one hand, it could be like a boomer trying to be hip kind of situation where like, yeah, you don't really get it, man. Like, great writer, but I don't think you understand. Or it could be just really on point and like, wow, like you just write something really incredible. I
Yeah.
don't know,
I mean, when you go out on a
but
limb, I mean, it's the limb is either going to hold you up or it's going to break. That's what's going to
yeah.
happen. So we'll see. I've heard good things about the first Caligula, so I'm
Mhm.
interested in seeing how the game continues to develop from there.
Yeah, yeah. Well, in fact, the I think the ratings for the second game is actually even better than the first one. So,
Nice, nice.
yeah, that doesn't happen all the time. That does not happen all the time. Chrono Cross. What? I'm kidding. No, but seriously, it does not happen all the time. A lot of times, we like the original game, and then the second one may not hold water. I'm looking at you, Death and Request. But yeah, but this one, the second one, from what I've heard, is actually even better than the first one. They've really taken all the feedback and they made a lot of improvements. So I look forward to it.
Yeah, I think this is
Yeah.
it's going to be one that I definitely do need to take a look at eventually, especially because I feel like the Persona series has been a lot of my bread and butter. Like that's the sort of thing that just really I dig it a lot. And
Hmm.
I really have no excuse to not dive into this and see if, if the creators behind this, were behind a lot of that initial Persona magic that I loved so much back when I was playing through the series,
So you mean to tell us that we don't need to shame you this time to add to your backlog?
No. No, you can it's
But
in my
shame him
backlog.
anyways, guys.
It's in the
Shame him
backlog.
anyways
It's there
on
already. I've
Twitter.
just all right. So,
Yes, we've added 2 games to his backlog.
all right. Well, we've both succeeded in making each other sigh exasperatedly at this point. So I think that's a success so far in my book.
For better or for worse, yeah. Look, you guys added Trails to my list. Okay, I've added 2 games. You added Trails.
Yeah,
You know how many games is in Trails? Like the entire freaking series and growing. All
I
right,
know.
nothing compares. Right.
I'm 5 in. I'm 5 in and I'm going in for more soon, I
I'm
think.
going in the third one soon, but
Mm.
God, it's a long road. Okay.
This your next one's going to be a fun one though, I think.
Yes. Oh, this next one's a nice one. If you guys are a huge fan of Ghibli Studio animation, and that's like Kiki Delivery, Grave of Fireflies, Nausicaa, Laputa, like those
Mm.
kind of anime, well, prepare for an RPG that was heavily inspired by Spirited Away. Check this out. This game is called Spirittea. It's like spirit and tea, but it's like meshed into the same word, but it's definitely pronounced Spirittea. I had to look that up.
And it's
I was
inspired
like,
by Spirittea Away.
we need an adult here. Um, I looked at it because I was just like, is that Spirittea? Like, how are you supposed to pronounce this? Oh, it's spirit tea because the main character drank a cup of spirit tea and started to be able to see all these spirits around, and then they had to try to help the town revitalize by appeasing these spirits. So this is a remote life RPG. It was crowdfunded back in 2020, and a company called No More Robots has picked it up to publish the game for console. Haven't listed what console, and also the PC hasn't said which platform in sometime this year in 2022. Again, the game is heavily inspired by Ghibli Studios' Spirited Away, where the player must solve different problems from the town spirits. It even has its own bathhouse that you can manage. It's heavily inspired by Spirited Away. There's no questions about it. I mean, heck, even the if you go to the Kickstarter page, even the guy who started the project, I think it's like Dan. He was like, yeah, like this is like one of my favorite anime, and I just really want to make an RPG about it. So let's take a look at it, shall we?
Yeah, let's check this out.
Yeah. I think the other game that's probably inspired is probably what is it called? What's that other game? Stardew Valley. It's like Stardew Valley RPG Spirited Away. That's what it looks like.
All right.
Yeah. No, maybe even a little bit of Mother.
Earthbound?
If I Earthbound.
Yep. The outlines on the character sprites
Yeah.
definitely gave me that vibe right away.
Yep. The way that the town works and like the clock mechanics and like the NPCs
Can I
looks
say-
very Stardew Valley.
I really like the look of the pixel art profiles.
Yeah?
Yeah, that one that just showed there in the corner, that looked really good.
That's kind of Stardew Valley-ish, if you ever seen it. Yeah, this is you managing the bathhouse with the spirits.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I don't think it's like your conventional RPG where you're like fighting people.
Yeah. I see that, yeah. Okay. Uh-huh.
It's really colorful. It looks there's like a barbecue mini game. I don't know how that works, but I'm intrigued. So yeah.
Spirittea away.
Mhm. So the tea makes like a tori, which is like a spiritual gate thing in Japan. So I can only imagine that this probably takes place in Japan or some kind of fictional world that approximates that. Why am I hearing some kind of music? What is the song?
I have no idea what that is.
Huh?
Oh wait, yes I do.
That's weird.
That is my okay, yep.
Also,
That's the next trailer that auto played.
The
My
next
bad.
trailer.
My
Well,
bad.
speaking of the next trailer, let's talk about it.
All right. Speaking of next trailer, Fairy Fencer F Refrain Chord. This is a compile heart announcement that Fairy Fencer F Refrain Chord is going to be a sequel to the 2015 game Fairy Fencer F Advent Dark Force. This is development has been handled by Sting, which had previously worked on with Compile Heart and the Hyper Devotion Noir Goddess Blackheart. And
Yeah, a mouthful. Those
Yeah.
game names are just super long. I don't get it.
I know I
Yeah.
saw Hyper Devotion and I was like, oh, is that Hyper Dimension Neptunia? What? No, Hyper Dimension
It's
Noir.
a spin-off.
Yeah.
No, it's a spin-off. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's the
Okay,
same
because it is
series,
Compile
it's a
Heart,
spin-off,
so
yeah.
it's okay. I got
It
you.
is Compile Heart. Yeah. Mhm.
All right, so the game will see the return of series protagonists. Just kidding. Series protagonist Fung, Aaron, and Tiara. The announcement trailer also shows several cast members from the previous game as well as some new characters, and
Yeah.
we can expect that around 9/15/2022, so sometime middle September this year.
Yeah.
For PS4, PS5, and Nintendo Switch. However, there's not yet any word of international release, as of right now anyway,
As of right now, yeah.
so far.
I mean, given Compile Heart's history, we most 100% expect an international release, probably some limited edition things as well through like the IF store. They're really good about publishing their own games in the West. They have their own branch to do localization. So just wait for it. It's coming. Should we take a look at the trailer really quick?
Yeah, let's. All right.
Yes, sir.
Since we listened to it halfway through already anyway.
Yeah. I was like, where's this song coming from?
I know, I heard that rip sound. I was like, what was that? And it's a catchy song. Okay, hold on. How much of this is just the music from the game?
Oh no, there's some gameplay. Yeah. some gameplay.
Okay, there we go. Oh, so it's a yeah, tactical RPG. And it looks nice.
You see, you notice that there's no English words in there. I mean, well, at least subtitles. Yeah, that's how you know that that is not international trailer yet, but it's coming. I guarantee you, it's coming. Now, I just want to throw that out there for folks who may not be familiar with Compile games. Yes, they are the ones who are behind Neptunia, and Neptunia is not exactly known for like a really strong RPG game. Is really
Mhm.
known for like the fan service, perhaps.
I will say
Uh, yeah.
it does have some English here on the at the end of the trailer here. Copyright 2022 Idea Factory Compile Heart Sting. I'm just saying that's all in English.
Well,
You never know.
Refrain, Chord. I mean, those are definitely English right there. What are you trying to pull here, Baku?
Exactly. Come on. I think
Now, yeah, go ahead.
I
Go ahead.
I think there's probably enough of this in English anyway. We probably don't even need to see what if
Yeah, just buy the game in Japanese. You can pre-order it right now on PlayAsia.
there you go.
Yeah. Yeah. So again, for folks who are not familiar, Fairy Fencer F is actually the first game where where they start going into like, what if we were to make games that aren't just like fan service? Maybe we can try making games that aren't just fan service. Because prior to that, it was just all Neptunia all the time, right?
Yeah.
And they made this one other series that had to do with like marrying people. I forgot. It's gonna come back to me later. But also heavy fan service. Not that there aren't any fan service in the new games, but like it's really toned down, or at least they try to tone it down. I think Fairy Fencer F is one where like they're really starting to make like a game where they focus more on the gameplay and less of the fan service element. And they released Fairy Fencer F Advent Dark Force that further towards that direction. And since then, they've made other games like Valkyrie something or another that had to do with like murder mystery. They made Death and Request. They've made this other game that was more of like a more of a painful game than it is like a fan service game. So I like the direction that they're going towards. Like I want to take you seriously, basically, as a
Yeah.
JRPG developer. I like fan service as much as the next guy, but it can't be the only like thing that sells your game. You have to sell it. You have to sell like a solid RPG. So this is going to be a tactical RPG, which is a interesting route because we talked about it, right, Derek? Like the tactical RPG revival that's coming.
Mhm.
And I think they're finally catching on to that train. So as soon as there will be like an international release date and more information, we'll definitely let you all know.
Yeah. Man, and I'm pretty stoked about this next piece of news actually.
Oh boy, yeah.
But I'll
Let's
let
talk
you
about
I'll let you introduce this topic here.
Okay, so this is gonna lead into our top headline of the day. This announcement, this project is called Project TriTri, Project TriTri. Actually, no one knows because no one knows what the actual title is called.
What's it look like in Japanese?
That's a good question. It's TRI.
Yeah.
That doesn't tell me a whole lot.
No.
And there's a reason for that too, but we'll get to that in just a second. There's a reason for that. So Fudu, let's just say TriTri, okay? Just for the sake of Fudu announced this project TriTri, an action RPG that will come out sometime in Q2 2022, which is very ambitious. We are in Q2.
Well, we're in
So I'm just
Q2
like,
in the States though, but Japan's Q2 is different, right?
that's financial. That's fiscal year Q2. This is regular normal people year
Okay.
Q2.
Okay. So they're talking about
Yeah.
regular. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. So, so Q2 2022 in PS4, PS5, and the Switch. Now, listen to this because this is what got Derek and I very excited about this. The game will be worked on. Bless you. The game will be worked on by many industry veterans from different highly acclaimed games. Check it out. The world design will be by Chrono Cross character designer and Charles Manor illustrator Nobuteru Yuki. Okay.
Oh
The
yeah.
characters will be designed by Xenoblade Chronicles X character designer Raita Kazama. There are these
Nice.
beings called familiars. These familiars will be designed by Pokemon designer Atsuko Nishida, Tomohiro Kitakaze, and Megumi Mitsutani. So
Yeah.
again, just big name people coming in. Scenario written by Octopath Traveler and Bravely Default 2 writer Yura Kubota. Music will be composed by Hiroki Kikuta, who
Oh,
had worked on
Hiroki
Secret
Kikuta.
Mana and Trials of Mana.
Yes. Yeah.
No,
I
I mean
recognized
like
Kikuta. Yeah.
like big names, veterans working on this, and it's crazy, right?
Yeah.
So that's why Derek and I'm like, what's going on? Like this just came out of nowhere.
I
No
know.
one saw this coming. Everyone, I got like 10 messages. They're like, "Did you hear about this? Did you hear about this? Did you hear about this?" I'm like, "Hear about what?" I just woke up. I'm like, "Oh, what the heck is this?" I looked into it. Okay. So if you don't mind, let's do a couple of things. Can we switch over to my screen really quickly?
You betcha.
So let's go over the pitch deck that they have. Okay.
Yeah.
And I can't believe that they're just showing like an actual, this is an actual freaking like
Design
PDF
doc, yeah.
PowerPoint thing. Yeah. So Project TriTri, TriTri. Well, again, we'll get to why we don't know what it's actually called. This basically says bringing back like the glorious day, the golden age RPG of the 90s. And it talks about sort of like the adults today who were kids then who were so moved by those games, and the kids today who can immediately find these games interesting, with one person or with everybody. So I think that's in reference to how this game can be played multiplayer,
Hmm.
up to 3 people, because 3 characters in this game. So you
Oh,
can play
yeah,
as a
yeah.
single player game, you can play as a multiplayer game, which I know a lot of people really liked back then with like Secret Mana and Trials of Mana. They're like, "Oh, how come Trials of Mana cannot be multiplayer?" I think they're kind of taking that kind of like feedback, and they're like, "Well, maybe. I mean, hey, like, if there's a demand for it, we'll make a game that lets you do multiplayer in an RPG."
Yeah.
So hold on, right? So it talks about the concept. We're looking at these art. So it says stories. So it says back then there's the god of order and there's the god of chaos, and they fight to rule the land. With lots of weapons, large weapons fell onto earth, and the world was destroyed. And every one of these gods, these 2 gods, would pick like representative, called like the gods of the warriors of the gods, and they're chosen to basically duke it out. And time has passed since then. In a small village, a young boy was chosen by the god of chaos to embark in a cruel journey ahead. So that's the story. And so this is sort of the main character. I'm guessing he's the young man that we're talking about in the story. So these are the 3 characters we think that you can control. This is up to 3
Yeah.
players.
Guy on the left
Um,
definitely has that, that protagonist sort of look to him.
This guy,
Yeah.
yeah. And here's best girl, of course, and then here's like best friend
Meathead.
dude,
Yep.
maybe. Yeah, meathead gun guy uses a
Oh.
gun.
Hmm.
I was expecting him to use like a mace or something,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
but no, he uses a gun. So yeah, the character design already looks pretty good. I love the colors because you can immediately tell like who's who. Blue, red, like you don't know it's like blue, red, yellow.
Yellow,
It's kind
yep.
of like, okay, you already know like who's controlling what, right?
Mhm.
It's gonna help when you're doing like multiplayer to spot your character. And then here are the familiars that they were talking about, and these are all done by Pokemon designers.
Blue, red, yellow.
And here are the specs. Yeah, action RPG, Nintendo Switch, PS4, PS5, up to 3 player, 1 to 3 players. Second quarter.
Yeah. Hey,
Yeah,
scroll
second
up just
quarter.
a smidge there if you could. At the
Scroll up.
familiars there, I see.
Yeah.
So yellow there has an X, blue has some sort of like sword,
Sword,
and red
some
has
kind of
the
bow.
bow. Yeah. So
Yeah.
those don't necessarily directly correspond to the equipment of the characters above. That's
Hmm.
kind of interesting. I'm just
Yeah.
keeping my mind open here. I wonder if that means that because my initial reaction was, yeah, the guy in yellow was the meathead guy who you'd expect to have
Hmm.
with a mace or an axe, maybe it just maybe that's his
Yeah.
sidearm or something.
I mean, these days with action RPG, you almost expected the multiple weapons, right?
Yeah.
Like, yeah. I mean, heck, even in Secret Mana days, you have multiple weapons, so this is not unthinkable. But also look at this. If you want to really dissect this, you see how there are like gaps and
Oh,
then there
there's
are like
cards.
colors.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so there are multiple of them,
Uh-huh.
probably.
That's
Yeah,
that's my takeaway as well. That's awesome.
yeah,
Good eye.
yeah, yeah. So, basically to say how these three people's lives would change. So, all of these three people are going to change their fate. So, obviously referring to the three characters, I would assume. So, yeah,
Yeah. Do the
it
character
looks
design documents
really good.
have names or anything connected for them? Like
Nope, nothing yet. Just the main character.
that's okay. That's what that says. The main character.
Main character right here. Yeah.
What?
Some of the words are kind of like handwriting smidge, and I can't really read it, but like
Yeah.
I can definitely see main character just like written right in the bottom corner. Yeah. So there are some like oh should his hair be slicked back? Would that be better? Like little
Okay.
design notes. It's kind of funny. But yeah, I am so stoked for this. I think this is like the sort of games that we're waiting for, where like
Yeah.
we're bridging the with like I am okay. I'm knocking on wood. Um, knock on wood that it happens, right? That I'm not jinxing myself, but basically to say, okay, what really made these games great instead of superficially good. Well, you know what is it? I'm Setsuna, right? Like, oh,
Mm.
this is the spiritual successor. You have the battle system. It's like, no, you don't understand. You don't know what made Chrono Trigger great. You just superficially gave us the battle system. This is Chrono Trigger's spiritual successor. No, you
Yeah.
gave us the battle system, which is fine, but nothing else about this is Chrono. You don't understand what made it great, right? So I'm hoping that these veterans have a better grasp of what made these games great, and they can sort of translate that into maybe more modern gameplay that perhaps a lot of us who were growing up in the 90s and now parents, and we play with our kids and sort of introduce them to these kind of games. Remember Diana, who was like, hey, what kind of games do you have that I can recommend to my son?
Uh-huh.
These kind of games right here. This is it. This is the kind of games that you can recommend. And I think a lot of us are looking for games where we can influence the next generation so that we'll go on the right path, the
Man,
righteous path
that's
JRPG.
such a really interesting question to think about when you think about it. Like, what did make the 90s games so great aside from us being 10 at the time? Like
And nostalgia, right?
right? Yeah.
I don't know. Like
I mean,
this is one of those things that we need to sit down and actually have a conversation about.
this is something that
Um,
I wrote down to make a video about. I mean, I wrote it
oh,
down just a second ago because you're like, you brought it up like, that's a really good question, but I need to think about it for a good long while before I even start trying to wax intellectual about it.
absolutely. But hey, if you guys got some thoughts on what made the 90s RPG great, nostalgia aside, let's try to be objective. Let us know that you don't really see in games today.
Yeah.
But here's another
Throw it in the
thing.
comments below. That'll be our side quest. Do my homework for me.
Yes, that is the side quest for you guys. Absolutely. Do Derek's homework so that he doesn't have to work so hard. Okay, so again, so can we switch back to my screen really quick just to round this coverage out?
You bet.
Okay, so not much is shown on the official site right now, and you will notice that the title is covered, right? So we have
Mhm.
no idea of what the name is, and as a matter of fact, they're saying that you can tweet at them with your prediction of the name,
Oh, okay.
and
So that's
if
it,
you
calling
get
it
it.
try because it's the start of each word. Uh,
Yeah, so look at this. You were asking about the Japanese title.
yeah.
See that? Try and then just like blocked off and
Is
then
it
tries.
But is it
so
long I or short I sound with the
we don't
actually
know.
I see. It actually is
It's
English
English letters.
TR. Okay.
That's what I was saying. I'm like, I don't know because they didn't give us any way to read it
All
in
right.
Japanese
Let's
because those would be hints.
let's take a couple
Now,
guesses here. If we scroll back up, I want to see this. Um, sure. Let's go with
so the first character they did show the first. I'll cheat a little bit for you guys. The first kanji says "sei," as in like seiken, like like holy, basically.
yeah.
So you know how
Oh,
Seiken Densetsu is
Ho-
like the
yeah.
legend of
The
the
holy
holy
blade.
sword,
Yeah.
basically. Seiken means holy sword.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not saying that it's gonna be that, but I am saying that one character is here, which means holy. So it's a holy something.
How about
So
triple travelers?
triple travelers? You think it's triple travelers?
Yep. Yep. That's it.
Yo, as a matter of fact, if you guys want to give me some guests right now, I'll send an entry right now for all of us. I'll send an entry right now. We'll do it live.
Oh,
I'll
we'll
send
do
an
it live.
entry in right now. Yeah, I'll send an entry in right now.
Okay,
Okay,
yeah,
hold
yeah,
on.
yeah. Okay, so let's come up with a good one, guys. Let's keep an eye on the on the chat here, see if anything. I'm thinking like TRI. It's
Oh, it does
definitely
say
gonna start with,
Tori.
what's that?
It says Tori. It says Tori. But don't expect that to be the like. Don't expect that to
Yeah.
be the yeah. Don't
Yeah.
don't expect it to be it.
That's just
It
them
does say
saying.
Tori.
That's just yeah. Makes sense. So yeah, triple. I mean, I would think triple. I don't know. And keep in mind, it
I think
looks
Trinity might be in the play.
triple
in
Trinity.
the triple Trin. I mean, isn't Trinity already like 3?
Yes, but it doesn't matter. It's a Japanese name of a game. I mean,
Triple triad. Stop. I'm pretty sure that's copyrighted. They're gonna get hit.
Maybe.
By Square Enix is not happy with them already.
So keep in mind, based on the logo layout, this is my graphic designer in me right now. It says the top line's got to be shorter than the bottom one, right?
Yeah.
So maybe, truth triangle. No, that's not right.
It wouldn't be truth because it would be TRI. Yeah.
Truth triangle.
Truth? What is truth?
That's something I made up. It's like truth, but with an I.
That's why no one's gonna get this name right because it's just 2 words that's just made up. It's like, wow, this is BS.
Yep, it's yeah. Let's get Nomura in the chat here. He can come up with some gibberish to throw out.
Triumphant Trinity, Trinity, Triumph, Trinity,
triple triumph, maybe
triple triumph, triple
triumvirate.
Triple triumvirate.
I don't know. This is tough, but I'm thinking. I feel like the first one's got to be triple. I don't know why, but it just seems right.
I really think the word Trinity is in play somehow. Oops, but triple triumph. Triple triumph?
I don't know. Maybe not triple triumph. That looks dumb.
Well, I mean, triangle strategy looks pretty dumb, but
Yeah, this is true, but they don't have. This isn't Square Enix making this game though, so
it's got some Square Enix veterans in there.
And they left.
I think their English level is about as good as the ones who stayed.
they left over how bad the naming scheme of Kingdom Hearts was. They told me themselves. Triggers Trinity, triple trigger, maybe triple trigger. Ooh.
Triple trigger.
Or something like that. Yeah, I like the idea of trigger.
I like trial.
Trials
of the Trinity. No, that's too long. It's got to be like 2 words.
I do like that though. Yeah.
Triumvirate.
Trinidad.
Trinidad.
Yes. All right.
All right. What's it gonna be, Derek?
Let's go with triple trigger.
Trigger.
Triple trigger.
Can they use the word trigger without getting in trouble with Square Enix?
Why not? I mean, it's just
sorry.
It's just
what did you want? Triple trigger?
I think I'm leaning toward like triple trigger, or maybe Trinity trigger. But I feel like
Trinity.
Yeah, but I mean, isn't Trinity like longer?
Well, because like the word they got the holy word in there, so then I'm kind of like Trinity has like kind of
That's
like that,
true.
you
Yeah.
know. So that's why I was like Trinity probably.
Yeah. It's got that.
Yeah, yeah. Because again, the kanji that's review is the word holy, holy something. So I'm just like Trinity is holy something.
Yeah, that's true. Okay. So I think we're as close to a good title as we're gonna get in this podcast.
You want to go? You want to go triple trigger? I'm down with that.
Yeah, let's give it a go. I'm good
Let's
with
give it
triple
a go.
trigger. Okay. Sweet.
Okay, I've sent it out. So there you go. We've sent something out. But hey, just because we did it doesn't mean you can't do it yourself.
Exactly.
So if you want to go over to their site, just click on the tweet thing, and then in the box just type out your
I mean,
guess and then just make a tweet.
It'd probably be easier to have people go to your Twitter account actually and just see what you tweeted and then like make a reply to the original tweet using the same format.
I don't know if it counts if you do that. That's the thing.
I mean, it's got
That's
to
an
count,
entry.
right? I mean, it should. I mean, it's just a tweet, right? That's how that works.
I don't know how it may if they have like a
bot,
like a robot that like captures the tweet, they may only capture the original tweet.
I don't think that people can do that
because they're looking for words inside that box, so
Yeah.
it's pretty easy to do like an automation thing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So like find the tweet that you replied to or that you replied with, copy and paste it, but then replace your text, your title with their title, the good one.
With the good one. Yeah,
The one they held out
I
on
look
us.
forward to seeing what kind of titles you guys come up with.
Yes,
so yeah, definitely throw something out there.
I'm very curious. Okay, so anyways, yeah, that's super interesting. Was there anything else that you wanted to throw out here before we move along to the next?
Well, so here's the question for you. Based on what we've seen so far, what do you think the game is like? What do you
Well,
think it will be like?
so we got 3 players,
Yes,
a 3-person action RPG that has multiplayer and it has Seiken somewhere in the title. I don't know.
Oh, not Seiken, just the first character.
Sei.
Yeah,
Okay. Sei. Okay,
Sei.
gotcha.
So holy.
Holy. Okay.
Not the holy sword, but just holy something.
Yeah.
Holy something.
Drawing a total blank.
Yeah.
Maybe mana. Maybe.
Maybe a new mana game. I don't know. Yeah, but this is from Fudu, so just in case anyone's wondering, again, this is not Enix, this is Fudu. Fudu is another like huge company that does many different things in Japan. Books, multimedia. It's a multimedia company. It's a conglomerate. So definitely not exactly like a small indie company thing. They've got the resource to hire all these people. Like, believe me, they're pretty big. Yeah, so yeah, I mean, I'm going to guess not exactly AAA title, but it's probably gonna be kind of chibi-ish, kind of action RPG. So, I'm expecting top down. I'm expecting something that looks more like a Secret Mana remake.
That would be
That's
super
what
cool.
I think. Yeah,
They
that's what I
should
think.
just remake Terranigma with modern graphics. That's really all they need to do, I think, to re-engage the glory years of the 90s. That's it. That's all you need.
Okay, I saw 3 players and I'm just like, don't tell me this is a live service game. Don't tell me this is a live service game.
You know what? They didn't have live service games in the 90s. Let me tell you that much.
I would be so mad. Yeah, but they didn't want to modernize it. When they say modernize, I'm a little scared about modernize anything.
Yeah,
like, I don't know what you mean by modernize.
By modernize, they may make it bad.
Yeah, modernize could mean really, really crappy.
Or they could just mean use polygonal graphics, maybe.
Yeah. It could mean anything. So until we see more of it. Now there's a countdown. It's 3 days, 13 hours, and 45 minutes. So in about 3 days, 3.5 days, we'll see more. And you bet the next time we talk about this next Sunday, we'll have more for you.
That's right.
Yeah. You excited?
Dude, I'm stoked. I'm cautiously optimistic. I mean, let's be real here. Hype responsibly. But what but otherwise, yeah, I'm cautiously optimistic. I hope I believe in what they're trying to do. I don't know if I
Hmm.
believe in them, but I think, we've definitely lost something in
Yeah.
the modern era. And
Hmm.
I feel like a lot of that probably comes through a little bit, and sometimes the sort of sardonic humor that we have when we're talking about, being cautiously optimistic about new games and stuff. Like, it's there's only so many times you can be hurt before you start to be kind of like, I don't know,
Be very
to
jaded.
be a little jaded. Yeah. So I'm trying not to
Mm.
be jaded. I want to believe in what they're doing. I just got to know more about it. And so I'm keeping an open mind, but we'll see what
Hmm.
happens.
Yeah, well, next week we're gonna get more information, and hopefully they don't drip feed us because it's Q2. We're in Q2. I'm like, I don't know how much you can drag this out. Maybe like new information every week until launch. That could be a strategy. We'll see. We'll see. Let's see
Yeah.
how they drip feed us. All right. Let's talk about the next thing. Really quick, just really quick news. The first episode of Pokemon Legends Arceus anime, the Hisuian Snow, is out now. So we've talked about it before,
Hmm.
and it's gonna be just a 7 minute short. And there will be 3 episodes of this. So hey, if you just want just a little bit more Pokemon, it's free. We'll have the link down below. So this is gonna be a short episode that follows a young man in the Hisuian region and his encounter with a shiny Hisuian Zorua. So check that out in the official Pokemon Company's YouTube channel.
Neat. All
Yes.
right.
All
So
right.
here's
Let's get into meat of things.
yeah, here's another one that almost took the headline from the TriTri guys, the TriTri guys,
Very close.
the
Very close.
Turi guys. Uh
Tootie tootie.
so Falcom have been talking about bringing some more titles to Nintendo Switch, specifically talking about bringing some of their retro titles. According to an interview with Famitsu Nihon Falcom president Toshihiro Kondo has revealed the company's interest in porting older titles to Nintendo Switch. For people
Yes.
who are collectors of physical copies, unfortunately, it sounds like Falcom's going to be bringing these titles to the Switch. They're probably going to be only digital copies, as
Mm,
physical
yeah.
copies make productions, kind of tougher and kind of a hurdle for
Yeah.
the company. So
Yeah.
that sucks, but I mean,
But
who knows? Who knows?
yeah.
Anyways, I'm hoping, and I know a lot of people are really hoping for
Hmm.
some Trails in the Sky, and maybe
Mm.
Trails. I was gonna say Trails from Zero, Trails to Azure, but those are coming already. But Trails from Zero or Trails in the Sky one FC, Trails in the Sky SC, and Trails the Third. All three would be phenomenal candidates to come to Nintendo
Hmm.
Switch. Also, they've got
Mm.
this whole backlog of East titles that would also be really great. Also, they've got
Yeah.
games like Gurumin, who almost nobody knows about, but
Hmm.
are huge fan favorites. So,
Hmm.
Baku, what are some Falcom games that you would like to come to the Nintendo Switch?
If I have my way, I would say bring us Trails in the Sky Evolution, because some of you guys know I'm streaming Evolution version, which all the Trails fans are like, "What? You're streaming the Evolution version?" I've went through hoops to get Evolution working to stream because I wanted something different.
Yeah.
But if I could have my way, and I know that of some folks have come into my stream and we've talked about Evolution. They told me why it's not on the Steam version. Maybe some kind of what is it,
Licensing.
contractual thing with the
Mhm.
licensing, with the publisher and the voices and all that. But if I could have my way, I would have like a definitive edition Evolution where you can just like switch portrait if you like, turn on and off voices, keep all the cute, quality of life improvement that they have in the Steam version, like speeding up battles and what have you. Just have one good, solid, definitive edition where you can play however you like.
Yeah,
And
that would be so
all the
nice.
animations, all the scenes, maybe touch them up a little bit and just throw them on there, and then release that also on the Steam while you're at it. Thank you.
Mhm.
Um, that would be great. That's what I would like to see. On the East front, we already have East Origin on the Switch, and then people love it, right? So maybe more East titles, and also Tokyo Xanadu. Is that on the Switch? Because if it's
That's right.
not, it should be.
I don't know if it is or
Um,
not. I can probably look it up
yeah, I
though.
don't know. I haven't looked because if I don't plan on owning the game on that console, I don't necessarily look into it. And I already own it on PC, so that's why I don't really particularly care. But those are some games that I would like to see.
Yeah, it does not
Yeah.
appear to be on Switch yet. I mean, and that
Hmm.
seems like it would be a. I mean, here's the thing: when Vita games don't get ported to Nintendo Switch,
Mhm.
it just makes everybody cry because it's a really simple
Yeah.
process because
Mhm.
they both run
Why?
on
Yeah.
very similar chips, ARM chips. So the port
And
process is
yeah,
very straightforward. Like,
yeah.
I
It
think there
should
might
be.
even be, as I understood it, there's even like a work in progress that allows you to on a Nintendo Switch uh emulate, or not necessarily emulate, but like what's the other word besides emulate, basically run
Emulate.
video Switch or Vita games on Switch.
Mhm.
I think it's still a work in
It's
progress.
it's still emulate. It's still
It's still an
emulation, yeah.
emulation, but
It's
it's
still
like,
emulation, yes.
yeah, but it almost natively though.
Almost, yeah. Well,
Almost
it's a
native
port at
emulation.
that point. It's a port.
No, I mean the
Uh,
processors are so similar though
yeah,
that
yeah, yeah.
because they're just generations of difference away from one another, that like
That's right.
it can run a lot of code native. So
The
it's,
architecture is the same,
yeah.
basically. Yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely. I know, I agree with you, and it just makes you wonder. I mean, heck, a lot of Falcom's like decision on how they release things internationally on different platforms has been very questionable for me. And every time I bring this up in my stream, the Falcon Bros always like, well, they're a small company, and I get that, but if they want to be a big company, they need to release these things so that we can give them money, so they can be a bigger company, right? So I
That
don't
is
know,
true.
like. I'm
Yeah.
just like, I'm not mad at them. I'm just saying, if you want money, give us ways to buy your product. Like, come on. Like, we're telling you that we want this. One step at a time, one step at a time.
Yeah. I think that they are
Well,
learning because Falcom is slowly like learning to bring more things to the West and finding an
that's
audience.
right.
And
Yeah.
I mean, they've been around since the beginning of Japanese developed RPGs essentially.
Hmm.
And they've been small since then. But
Yeah.
yeah, like you said, they got to start acting a little bigger if they want to get bigger, right? They need to
It's
start going on a limb.
crazy. It's crazy because Falcom came out with like hits around the same time as Final Fantasy.
Hmm.
So, like, can you imagine?
They
Like,
just didn't
Falcom could
scale
have
up
been a
like,
way right? It could have been a way larger company today,
yeah.
if one reason or another. Not ripping on them. Like,
No.
there might be a reason why they decide to stay that way.
And it
They
could be one
might
of the
want to
reasons
just,
they still
yeah.
exist is because they
Mhm.
haven't gone out on those limbs that can either
That's
break or
right.
hold them,
That's right.
They
Yeah.
they've stayed small, they've stayed sustainable. And
Hmm.
there's definitely merit in that. But as a
Yes.
fan, you want them to thrive, right? And you want them
I
to have more things for you to buy and support them with.
Yeah. No, I think a big thing though is that, and we're entering like business territory, but I think one of the big things is because once you go public, like Square Enix, like you
You
have to
have
answer to
to.
you have to by law answer to your shareholders, and your whole thing now is to try to make the money, not lose money. You have a responsibility now.
Yep.
Whereas if you're a small company, you can put your artistic freedom first and profit second, which we love. But yeah, but I'm kind of hoping for a happy medium, like stay private but be large enough that you can have a larger presence in the
Be
world.
private
That
but
would
be
be like the
aggressive.
optimal size.
Yeah.
Exactly. That would be the optimal thing. Like don't go public. I'm not thinking they should go public, but just come on. Give us what we want, damn it. All righty. Sorry, I'm done whining. Okay, let's talk a little bit about Gundam Game Fest. That's coming. So Gundam Game Fest is from Bandai Namco. They'll be streaming the Game Fest on May 26th, and I'll be watching it. We'll cover it next week, where they'll talk about 3 games specifically: Gundam Evolution, Mobile Suit Gundam Battle Operation 2, and SD Gundam Battle Alliance, which has all been games that they've kind of leaked one way or another, but they're going to really showcase it during this Game Fest. You'll see more details on this. And also, Bandai Namco promised more games will be reviewed during the stream. So it's not going to be just these three, but more exciting Gundam game-related projects will be, shown here. And you can watch this live stream on the Bandai Namco official Twitch and YouTube, links down below in the description. So again, that's May 26th, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, 5 p.m. Central. A really easy time for you to tune in, actually, for those of us living in the West.
You know what? Nihon Falcom
Yes.
Corp is apparently
They're listed?
they are a publicly traded corporation, apparently.
Get out. They're
Yeah.
listed? Really?
Yeah, somebody's mentioned it in chat, and I just went ahead and popped over to
They are publicly traded.
No, well,
Okay, so they have no now they
So
have no excuse.
disregard.
Okay, I let me reverse whatever I just said. Yeah,
Yeah.
what are you doing?
Take that all
now,
back.
now I'm like, what are you doing? Because remember what I just said about you have a fiduciary sort of responsibility
for sure.
to make money for your show. What are you doing, Falcom? What are you?
Oh,
you
man.
see our money here? You see all this cash here for you to grab? What are you doing?
All right. So,
Yeah, I don't feel
moving-
bad anymore. Now I'm gonna rip them.
moving along.
The next time someone tells me Falcom's a small company, I'm gonna be like, they're publicly traded.
Yeah. I mean, they're not that
Yeah.
small, apparently. All right.
Yeah, the next time someone comes to my stream, oh, Falcom's a small company. Oh yeah.
So,
Thank you.
SaGa series will have an official live stream on the 31st of May here, coming up pretty quick. This broadcast will present the latest updates to the series. Although there's no official words on what will be showcased, in the series executive producer Akitoshi Kawazu said that back
Good
in
enough.
December. Yeah, thank you.
Good enough.
Thank you. Said in December of last year that his team is working on a remaster, a remake, and a whole new SaGa game. So we look forward to seeing some more about that. I'm also
Yeah.
guessing that there's probably going to be a pretty big emphasis also on Romancing Saga Reuniverse, if I had to guess.
Ooh, yeah. They're gonna talk. They're gonna talk about some mobile game. I am
Probably Reuniverse.
know,
probably.
as a SaGa fan, it pains me every time they come up release. I'm just like, are you gonna do something good this time? Are you gonna do something good this time? No.
I mean,
okay,
they had a lot
so-
of Romancing Saga entries a couple of years ago that they've been pushing out, right? Like they
Well-
did the remake of Romancing or Saga Frontier. That was
They did the remake of remaster. I don't want to call it
Yeah.
remaster of Romance and Saga 2, Romance and Saga 3, and Saga Frontier.
yeah.
So just for clarity again, they're working on 3 separate things: a remaster, a remake, and a completely new Saga game. So that's 3 things. So Derek, what would you guess would be those 3 if you have to guess?
Oh man. A
1 remaster, 1 remake, 1 new game. I mean, we can't guess new games, so
I
maybe
know.
just the remaster and remake.
gosh. That's tough. I mean, maybe they would remake the one of oh man, I wanted to say like one of the original Saga titles based off
That
of
would
like
be
the
interesting.
I mean, they were originally released on Game Boy. So
Yeah.
like they wouldn't have a whole lot of material to work with, but a remake of something like that, or maybe a remake of like the original trilogy, not just like a package of it, but like maybe like combine the 3 into like something. It could be interesting.
HDTV remakes?
That would be super weird, but interesting.
HDTV remake would be amazing.
In a
I would
modern
play the
visual
heck out of
aesthetic,
it.
like with the 16-bit style graphics that they've been mastering over the years.
Yeah, basically. We'd love it, so just give us more of it. Come on.
Yeah, let's hope that they do.
I think that they might remaster Saga Frontier 2 because that seems to be on the menu. Like going by what they were doing just now, they already did Romance and Saga 2, Romance Saga 3, then Saga Frontier was the next thing. We're never going to Ultimate Unlimited Saga. Please stop it. Never
Unlimited
going
Saga
there.
remake.
Stop it.
Yeah.
Please no. Please God. No. The music in that game is great, but like everything else is
Oh,
like
they'll remake
gross.
that too.
Yeah. Oh God. But I think a Saga Frontier 2 remaster is definitely on the menu. As far as remakes concerned, HD 2D remakes of Romance and Saga would be interesting. The first one, Romance and Saga 1. If they did an HD 2D remake of that, I think that would be they already did a remake for PlayStation 2, but that's PlayStation 2, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. And a whole new Saga game, we don't know what that's gonna be. Probably a mobile game.
No, I feel like they're really behind still the Re-Universe as far as like the
Oh,
mobile
yeah?
market goes. Like
They're not gonna close that server yet?
well, they're still pushing it. So,
Yeah? Wow.
you know, I've heard mixed things about it.
Listen,
Like some pretty
leave
good
the
things
Square Enix
sometimes.
to have multiple mobile game for the same series though.
Oh
I
yeah,
mean,
I mean, look at
if
Final
you think they
Fantasy.
wouldn't.
Yeah.
Kingdom Hearts? Anybody?
Did Kingdom
Final
Hearts
Fantasy?
have multiple mobile
I
games?
thought they did. Did they not?
I don't know. I don't
Well,
recall.
Final Fantasy 7 definitely.
Yeah,
Like,
Final Fantasy definitely did.
7 itself just like insane. But yeah, we'll see.
But I mean,
yeah,
that's Final
check
Fantasy
out that
7,
podcast.
of course. So like
But that's Final Fantasy 7. That is true.
that's the
But
really
I
big
can't ever
franchise.
put it past Square Enix. Square Enix is just like, let's have 5 mobile games and then like one new title that's like low budget. It's like, dude, Square Enix, come on. But yeah, May 31st, guys. Check it out.
All right. Well, did you know
All
that
right.
Norman Reedus is leaking? Yeah.
He's leaking.
Yeah, he's leaking.
What is he leaking?
So
I'm sorry,
in a
what?
Leo interview, yeah, that's my attempt
Mhm.
at a segue there. In a
Mhm.
Leo edit interview rather, Norman Reedus may have accidentally leaked that he's already working on Death Stranding sequel.
Just a little bit.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. I mean, so the interviewer was saying something like, okay, so you got this book going on, and you've got the final
Mhm.
season coming out, then you got the spin-off, and then you're filming Death Stranding, the video game, and then Rita says, oh, we actually just started the second one. And so
Casually, just oh yeah, we started the second one.
yeah. Norm was like loose lips sink ships, Norman.
Yeah, check out the interview down below, by the way. If you just want to read that interview, we've got you linked in the description. Okay.
Yeah. So likely
Yeah.
in a response to this leak, Kojima tweeted out at Reedus saying, "Go to your private room, my friend," which is a reference to the Death Stranding game's private room where the main character, played by Reedus, would go to relax. So
Yeah.
that's pretty.
And with that tweet, it's also got like Norm Reedus' pictures in there, so it's definitely directed to him. Only like a day after that leak, he suddenly decides to tweak at Norm Reedus. So I don't know. Yeah.
In possibly related news, Kojima Productions just opened up recruitment to look for new talents that work on a new project. And Kojima mentioned back in December of 2021 that the studio will engage in 2 projects in 2022.
Yes.
So one of them may be Death Stranding's sequel, while the other might be this other project that they're hiring for. So
That's right. Yeah. They're hiring like concept artists and stuff. So that's kind of like maybe like like the earlier phase of like a game production. So that's what it seems like. I mean, they've never explicitly said it, but it seems like what they meant by 2 projects is the Death Stranding sequel and then a new game. So really excited to see what kind of crazy things Kojima makes because he's killing it out there. He's killing it out there. He's the kind of developers that's just crazy enough, but also realistic enough to give like a polished product that people would buy and
Yeah.
not just like a pipe dream. So I'm excited to see what kind of stuff he comes out with.
Me too. You know, he's just the kind of person. He's wacky. You gotta root him on. You gotta root on the wacky projects, guys. Because without that, all you get are, you know, your generic annual shooters from the likely subjects,
Yeah.
right? You gotta have the
FIFA.
wacky stuff. Uh-huh.
Madden.
Gotta
Madden,
appreciate
anybody?
that.
FIFA, yeah. Yoko Taro, please. More Yoko Taros of the world is what I would like to see.
So before we wind down here, Baku, what are you doing these days? Where can people find
you
you?
have one more piece of news before.
Do we?
you
Are you
go.
sure?
Yes. I highlighted it.
Oh, you did? Oh shoot, I skipped it. Oh
I was
man.
trying to be. I was trying to be. I was trying to be like.
Oh
You know.
man. Oh well, you better go for it and talk about this for a minute, because
All
apparently I
right.
decided that it wasn't newsworthy. It's cut.
Derek's like, we're skipping this. Like,
Final Fantasy
no,
VII.
don't skip
That's not
it.
news. Nobody wants to hear about this stuff.
I was waiting for it. I'm like, well, I'm gonna highlight it. He's see me docket. Okay,
No.
clearly he did not see that. All right, so this is the last piece of news before we'll let you guys go. Okay, so Final Fantasy 7 25th anniversary news will be coming in June. Tetsuya Nomura, our favorite producer developer, confirmed in an announcement that more information will come next month, which coincide with the actual 25th anniversary of the game. Back in January, in a sort of like I don't know, kind of a letter to all the fans, Nomura and Yoshinori Kitase teased new projects for Final Fantasy 7 Remake Part 2 news in their like sort of like a New Year tweet that they had made out. I don't know if you guys remember us talking about it. But we are actually probably gonna hear what those things will be next month. So probably going to be more news about the mobile games, but one can hope that it would be more than mobile game news, because God, I'm very sick of them talking about mobile
I mean,
games.
for
that
25th
people won't
anniversary,
play.
they really should have a little something meatier than that.
Yeah, I'm just like,
Get it?
boy, if you
Meatier.
tell me more about we were so close to being done with another pun. We were so close. We were so close. And I ignored it. And then it didn't happen. I need an adult in here. Yeah, but no, I think if they don't give us some remake part 2 news this year, I think fans are gonna really flip the crap. I just look at Persona, right? Persona, like what was it? What anniversary is it? 30th anniversary of Persona? Or like
I think it's their 25th.
It's also 25th? Yeah. And it's like everyone's like, come on, Persona 6, Persona 6, Persona 6. And Atlus is like, oh, we got all these news that we're gonna like release like every month, right? Something like that. Like every month we can give you some news on Persona. And then there's like, oh, we have a collaboration here, we have a collaboration here, we have a concert. It was like, oh, okay, that's nice. Where's Persona 6?
Here's a bunch of vinyl you can't afford to buy from us.
Waiting for Persona 6 news, Atlus.
I know.
Yeah, I know. We talked about this. We talked about how Atlus likes to. What's that thing called in Christmas where like you open these like doors and you count down to Christmas? What are those things called again? I
Oh
keep
God.
forgetting.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. And they have that
Yeah.
chocolate in it that's not very good.
Yeah. Well, it's like that, but with like Persona news, like every month you open a little door and it's like, oh, here's things that I can't afford. Here are collaborations that I can't buy because it's Japan only. Here's the concert I can't watch because it's Japan only. What can I do, Persona? Like, please, Atlus.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be a fan, but you're making it really hard.
C'est la vie.
Well, yeah. Alrighty. Let's go.
All right. Well,
We got some super chat, right?
yeah, but that comes in a second.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So before we get to the super chats, Baku, what are you doing these days? Where can people find you?
So these days, I'm scrambling to finish Xenoblade Chronicles because a certain Derek refuses to play Xenoblade, so someone had to do it, right? Xenoblade Chronicles 3 got pushed up from September to July. You guys already know it because you guys watch our news, of course. I am scrambling to finish the first game because I played the second game thinking I don't ever need to play the first game. I was wrong because I need to play the first game to understand the third game. So here I am playing the first game now, and we are like 40 hours in. So far, so good. We should be able to finish it, no problem, and be ready to play Xenoblade Chronicles 3 by early August, because it's coming out in July, like 29th or 28th, like late July. So early August, we'll be looking at that. I stream Wednesday through Sunday. As a matter of fact, right after the stream, I'll be playing Xenoblade Chronicles in my Twitch channel. Links down below. Please check it out. Please come by and hang out if you want to see some Xenoblade Chronicles action. And also, can I talk about the Ray Train now, or do you want me to talk?
Go for it, dude.
Yeah, okay. So, I've been working on this raid train. I don't know, you guys may have heard about it from the last show, for a large charity organization. And we have raised so far, I believe, $35,000 as of today, with 60 plus streamers participating. It's huge. $35,000. And we have 3 days left. And yours truly is actually going to be the last person to pass the baton back to the event organizer. So it basically starts out like this: like there's the event organizer doing the ceremony, like the opening ceremony, if you will. It passes down to like the next stream, and then that person rates the next person, so on and so forth, right? So I am like the absolute last person before going back. So I'm kind of nervous, but hey, if you guys will come by and hang out with me, maybe that'll make me feel a little less nervous. So yeah, definitely check that out. Come by my channel. You'll see all kinds of information. If you're not follow already on Twitter, I've got all the information there. So, or you can just DM me and I'll tell you all about it. So yeah, but thank you so much for all those who have already been supporting. I really appreciate it. All
Man,
right, back to you, Derek.
that is such incredible news to hear that you guys have managed to raise that. That is
We're
that's
definitely breaking 40K. We have 3 more days. We're aiming at 50K at this point, I think.
that's
Which is,
incredible.
by the way, for everyone who does not know, our original goal was 5K.
That was the original goal, was 5.
We've already passed 7 times our original goal.
That's
Yeah,
that's incredible.
we're definitely aiming at 50K at this point. All right, your turn, buddy.
All right. Well, personally speaking, I'm over on Twitch these days playing some Chrono Cross, where we are making some pretty good progress, and I'm having a blast. And we're playing it on the Nintendo Switch, figuring out what settings actually make it work the best. Because believe it or not, it's not as straightforward as you might think. But anyways, it's a lot of fun, and we've been having a blast. And so yeah, if you want to hang out with us, definitely come in and check us out there as well. Otherwise, yeah, that's kind of what we're doing. Just Monday, Wednesdays, Fridays over on twitch.tv/SuperDerekRPGs. Links in the description. Baku, we've got some super chats to take a quick gander
Yes,
at
we
here.
do.
So we'll work our way through here in order that they arrived in here. From Still Alive
Yes.
says they were just wondering if Derek was going to finish playing through the rest of the Dragon Quests for review, and would love to see your thoughts on the rest of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I am. I'm going to play them all, and it is about dang time I get my butt back in gear for playing those Dragon Quest games.
About dang time.
About dang time.
That persona getting in the way, and that dang trails getting in the way of that DQ review.
Yeah, maybe I should probably play Dragon Quest 6 first. Thanks for the reminder
Yes.
that I have that still, like that weight just dangling over my head at this point. I need to finish that series retrospective. But thank you so much.
Derek. Hey,
Yeah.
Derek. Hey,
Yeah.
Derek. How about the rest of the Tales games? Because I would love to hear your review on the Tales games.
No. Never.
Should I remind you that you still got a lot of Tales games to go through?
I've played the first one. That's all that matters. That's not a commitment to a full series review. All right. So
be sure to shame Derek into playing and reviewing games that you want to see on Twitter. Just make sure to tweet at him.
Or throwing super chats at me works too. If you feel
Do
like
both. Do both.
So this one came from Pdragy, who says, after 5 years of intense college, I can finally dig back into JRPGs to celebrate with me. JRPGs, celebrate with me until the loan payments start being asked for. Yes, congratulations, Pdragy. And when those payments come running, run. Just run. Just run.
Yeah. Oof. Okay. So I've fortunately paid off my student loans because I went to a in-state university and I lived at home, so the payments wasn't too great.
Nice.
But I definitely feel for you, and hopefully, with the right administration, they would pass some kind of loan forgiveness or some kind of ways to lessen your burdens. So hopefully you can pay off that loan, because honestly, student loan is one of the largest problem. It's a ticking time bomb in
Yeah.
this country.
I actually really
And
liked the
you know,
idea that they floated a while back about, forgiving uh like I don't remember what the amount was anymore, but a certain
mhm.
amount per like year in public service. And I was like, that would actually be a
Yeah,
really
yeah,
nice
that
compromise,
would
I
be
thought.
nice, except they didn't follow through, and a lot of people
Yeah,
applied, didn't get it. It's this whole
I
mess,
know.
right? But
Yeah.
I digress. I don't want to get too far into that. But hey, I wish you all the best. Congratulations again on graduating. And we love super chat. But hey, just donate responsibly. All right, that $5 could have gone towards your repayments. I'm
That's
just
true.
saying,
That's true.
just please donate responsibly. But
But
thank you so much.
and congratulations. Uh
Congratulations. Yes.
Darth Nacho here says, feel like they focused more on the gameplay and story and less on graphics and or fan service. Probably talking about the what made the
The
90s
90s. Yeah.
so much greater. And
Hmm.
I think there's probably definitely at least a little bit something to do with that in there,
Yeah.
because I mean,
Absolutely.
it's really like jiggle graphics were really harder to fully illustrate in only 8 and 16 bits,
You have exactly one bit of bounds that you
Yeah.
need.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's not enough bits for
That's all
bounce.
you got. That's all you got. You got one bits. You gotta make it count.
Yeah, you
Us.
definitely you need bigger bits to make them bounce like that.
Well, I mean, the imagination fills in was how it worked back then. But now it's just
So instead you had to focus on other kinds of plot. I got you.
Exactly, exactly. Well, I think one of the things, honestly, like jokes aside, I think one of the things that made 90s game a little better personally, and some of these like older veterans in the scene have expressed the same, which is storage.
Mm.
Okay.
Mhm.
So because they had such limited storage in these cartridges and what have you, they have to make like every bit count. I know I
Yeah,
was just kidding about the bits, but also seriously, they were really making all the bits count.
it's true.
So they had to be extremely selective about what they pushed out there, how they presented.
Mhm.
Whereas now, they can put like 5 of their games in like modern, cartridges, and they won't run out of space. Those constraints, basically, and not
Yeah,
just the bits constraint, but a lot of different kind of constraints force them to be very creative in how they do certain things, like in terms
absolutely.
of music. And we can talk about like the 8 bits music and 16-bit music all day, but music, graphics, story, gameplay, all of these things that to be very smart about how they do it, that to be very clever, they have to really use that brain juice. Now it's just whatever. They can throw out whatever and
Oh,
there's
yeah.
no constraint, right?
I mean,
So,
I can attest to that. Whenever I
yeah.
do like graphic design work, for instance, when people
Mhm.
say, "Oh, just do whatever," I draw a
Yeah.
blank. But if someone says, "I need this done, but here are my constraints," you can't do
Mhm.
this, you can't do that. It'd be nice if you did this, but here's
Mhm.
some things like that. That's when my creative problem solving really kicks in order
Yeah.
to, and I feel like, yeah, you're probably right that those restrictions breeds creativity for sure.
Yeah.
Like
It's
that's a very
definitely
common sentiment just across the board for art, I think, in general.
yeah. Look at me doing part of your homework there. Look at
Yeah,
me
I like
doing part of your
that.
homework.
That
Go
thanks. Just make sure you
go
change
look
it
up
a
some
little bit
quotes.
before.
Go look at some quotes. There are some quotes from like industry veterans that you could probably use on
For
that.
sure.
Like absolutely. Yeah.
All right,
Okay.
so we got another one
So,
here from
mhm.
Bring Back Fluppy Dogs,
Hello.
who says, "Here's some assistance to get brighter highlights for Baku's notes for Derek. Also, please, Squeenix, announce the Pixel remasters coming to Switch physically fall 2022. Thank both of you. Much love." Um,
Wow.
and
Okay.
that was an
Thank you.
incredible. Can I don't normally like mention the amounts, but they threw $100 into that super chat.
What? Why would you do that?
I felt like I need to say that because you couldn't see that, but anyways, thank
I
you so
can't see it,
much.
no.
Yeah, thank you so much, Fluffy
Yo,
Dogs.
thank you
That
so
is
much. I will get better highlighters. Just for Derek.
those highlights have been funded.
Those highlights has been funded. Thank you. And with your support, maybe we can even hire an assistant to just do everything for us.
Gosh, that would
One of these days, we can hire an assistant and just like, yeah, I'll boss them around. Write the script. Do the timeline.
Oh man. No,
Can you imagine if someone can just do the timeline for you?
man. That would be really nice.
That would be nice.
That's okay.
That would be nice.
I've seen it.
Yeah.
I've watched other podcasts where commenters will just like do it, and I'm like, man, they're the real MVP.
Yeah.
No, I'm doing the timestamps. It's okay. I enjoy listening to us anyway, and I it's like I get to hang out with you twice, Baku. So
I wouldn't want to hang out with me twice, so I don't know.
All right. Well, all kidding aside, thank you so much for your support, everyone, tonight. That's
Thank you.
incredible. And Baku, do you have any closing thoughts for tonight?
The new golden age is upon us. It is coming. Whether or not this project succeed, honestly, with all these games we've talked about, all these games that's coming, Triangle Strategy, new Persona games, like just really hitting the big scenes, like no one can deny that this wave of like great games are upon us. So, what a good time to be alive! What a great time! What a great time to be alive!
All right. Well, yeah, it's been great. All right, everybody, have a great night. We'll see you on the other side. Until then, take care, everybody.
everyone.